For as long as I remember, I have always loved gardening. As a little girl, I loved getting down in the soil and making something grow. I loved seeing my finished product: a cucumber, a pepper, a tomato, an entire meal made possible with my own 2 hands. It wasn't until last year when I learned the true value in these experiences. In September of 2015, I attended a session at the CMC Hospital in Charlotte. What I learned here astounded me and has stayed with me ever since. In our community, the health disparities faced by those living in poverty are tremendous. Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity, deadly illnesses and conditions inflicted more heavily on those who do not have access to proper nutrition. I'm lucky. I have the privilege and means to go to the grocery store and buy all the kale, carrots, and broccoli I want, but not everyone does. Not everyone is able to afford to buy fresh produce. Why buy a bag of apples and some zucchini if you could easily buy a whole family's worth of meals from McDonald's at the same price? And this makes sense. If you barely have enough money to feed your family, proper daily nutrition is the least of your worries. You'll do anything just to get food in their mouths, and at that point, it doesn't matter what food it is. But what if it didn't have to be this way? What if everyone knew that gardening is an easy and inexpensive way to gain access to produce from your very own backyard? In a 1-gram packet of squash seeds, there are about 15 seeds. In a good season, about 15 squash will grow from just 1 seed. Multiply this by 15 seeds and say half the crop fails. That's still over 100 squash you're able to grow in 1 season. In your own backyard, you grew over $150 worth of squash. Okay, I understand not everybody is able to grow a garden in their backyard. But did you know that in the Charlotte area alone, there are over 40 community gardens? I didn't. Originally, I had planned to base my project around creating a community garden right here at Lake Norman Charter, and even established a gardening club to help me do so. However, upon conducting my research, I came across a plethora of gardens all around me that I had never even known about. I was astonished. After emailing about 30 gardens inquiring about volunteer opportunities for students, I immediately heard back from the Little Sugar Creek Community Garden in Charlotte and set up a time to go check it out. Upon arriving at the garden, I met its coordinator, Mrs. Nadine. While on a quick tour of the 10-plot garden, she informed me that those living in the community around it are living either at or below the national poverty line, and use the garden as a main source of obtaining fresh produce. The garden is what she called a sweat equity garden, meaning that the people in the community come and volunteer their time at the garden and in return can take all the fruits and vegetables they want. After my initial visit, I returned to the garden several times and even brought some students along to help me. The great thing about this garden is that it's not the only one out there. Imagine if more people knew the amazing benefits of community gardens, how they help those in need. Imagine if more people volunteered their time to help their neighbors live a happier and healthier life. Just imagine. Thank you.